Hi, friends, and welcome to Costuming in Color, a YouTube show dedicated to showcasing the amazing costumers of color and those that support them.
I'm Gigi, a cultural history buff, historical costumer, and dabbleist.
And I'm Noelle, a costumer who likes to play both sides of the historical and cosplay world.
Today we are interviewing Paco. Welcome to the show, Paco.
Hello, welcome.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
For some house rules, the first rule of Costuming in Color is that you tell everyone about Costuming in Color.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
This way, even if you don't have people of color in your local groups, you can get to know the ones in our global community.
Awesome. The second rule is that kindness matters. And aside from that, there are no rules. So let's get into it. Paco, where are you from and do you still live there?
Well, I was born at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio. I have never been there in my life, except for the time that I was born. I'm an Air Force brat, so I've grown up throughout the world. Although I'll call California my home. And currently, I live in Oakland, California, and yeah, this is where I'm at.
Awesome Bay Area.
Yeah.
What is your favorite thing about the Bay Area?
My favorite thing really is the diversity here, the diversity and the weather. I love the sunshine. My mother is from Spain, and my father is African American from Maryland. So looking and having that diversity here in the Bay Area is just fantastic. So it's quite wonderful. Yeah.
We know that Paco lives in Oakland and not in San Jose because he said the weather.
Yeah.
It's currently 96 degrees where I live.
Yeah.
All right, Paco, what is the costuming scene like where you live?
In the Bay Area, it's actually pretty brilliant. We have the Greater Bay Area Costuming Guild based here, who put on all kinds of costume events every year. There are the Piers events, which is the period events and entertainments, who put on a themed ball just about, oh my gosh, every other month or so. So
It's a
you
lot.
can dress up from everything from Regency to Star Wars, okay, at those. And then there's the Great Gatsby Summer Picnic that happens out here as well. So there's the great range of everything you need.
There's also Bears, which is
Bears, yes.
Bay Area English Reenactors Society.
Yes.
So those are dancers who costume, and
Yes.
Peers is costumers who dance.
You dance, yeah. And the Greater Bay Area Guild is they accept everybody. So
Yeah, that's
whatever level you are in sewing, whatever, they just want people to come up, dress up, and go out and play.
Yeah, and they do fantasy, they do they do historical, they do cosplay, they do all of the things.
All the stuff, yeah.
I've been in it really long time. Yeah, they do have workshops.
Yeah.
It is definitely slightly historically bent.
Yes.
But there are fantasy and cosplay events.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Cosplay, historical, or both?
Yeah. I want to say both.
Okay.
Well, then for historical, what time period or place is your favorite? I think I already know the answer to this, but
yeah. My favorite is the 16th century. 16th century Italy with a great focus on Florence and Florentine history and the Medici in particular.
I went to see a delightful Medici exhibit with Gigi in New York. It was great.
Yeah, all right.
Mm-hmm. Do we want to ask the cosplay question, even though it's grayed out?
Yeah.
I grayed it out because I assumed I knew everything there was.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. And I had no idea. So yeah, ask that question.
If you do cosplay, what types of characters do you gravitate towards?
Well, okay. To be honest, I haven't really dressed up into cosplay as of yet. I'm really interested in it because I love what people are doing with it. I mean, it is amazing the amount of costuming stuff. The one time I've ever really wanted to cosplay, which really got me into that aspect of costuming and stuff, was Farscape.
Oh, Farscape is a favorite of mine. I love Farscape.
And it was Captain Crace.
Oh,
I really wanted to play as Captain Crace. I went to the first two conventions that they had just for Farscape.
Uh-huh.
I got to meet him. He's about as tall as I am, and at the time I had the hair, so it was Captain Crace. And I think if I ever have the opportunity, that is exactly what I would do, is go in as Captain Crace.
You should do it.
Yeah, because it's brilliant. It's yeah, fun.
Now I kind of want to do Rigel.
Yes. I love Rigel.
Like, you'd have to build like a little car
A
around
little
yourself
card
and
or
everything.
something to
Yeah.
go around you and stuff. Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah, but you could be like a jerk all day.
Yeah.
It'd be fun.
and if you and if you get a little container of helium just every once in a while.
Yeah.
Okay, so you like Farscape, 16th century Italy, specifically Florence. That is amazing to me that you have that much range. So how did you start in costuming? What sparked?
Oh, how did I start in this? The way I started was the Renaissance Fairs, actually. I was with a group of people who, when I was in the Navy, that played Dungeons and Dragons, of course, back in the 80s. Okay, and I have a very good friend who one day came into our gaming and was just like, "Hey, the workshops are starting, and you've got to come to the fair." And so we all took ourselves and we dressed up basically as our characters, as one does, and we went out to the Renaissance Fair, and I was hooked, just absolutely hooked. And from there, it was as I became as a participant, and then as a guild master in particular, that's when I really started looking at the fact of, with our group, we were Italians. So it was, how did they actually dress? What were they doing? And that's when I really began my research, in probably about 1990 is when I really started looking at the research of Italian costuming, and because I wanted us to get as good as we possibly could. And I mean, I have a lot of faults. I mean, some of my stuff isn't absolutely historically correct. I do theater, so for me, it's making that nice balance of what is theatrical and what is historical going on there at all. So yeah.
Ren Fair is like a gateway drug. They also take anyone. If you have
Yeah.
never been to Ren Fair, it is the best gateway drug because literally you can go in jeans and a t-shirt, you can go full historical, you can go as a fairy, you can go as a pirate, you can go as
Right.
Doctor Who, you can go as like whatever you want, and everybody's
Yeah.
like down.
Yeah,
It's fun.
it's fantastic. It is fantastic.
It's
It is
hot.
just, I mean, it's been 38 years now. So and
Oh.
I'm still going strong in it. And it's just fun.
Are you down at Fruit Nut?
Casa de
Trail?
Fruta, yes.
Casa
Yeah.
de Fruta.
So
I
Casa de
call it
Fruta,
Fruit Nut.
the northern California Renaissance Fair, which is going to be opening in about 3 weeks here. So yeah.
I was intending on going this year for the first time in a really long time, and I just figured out I can't go because I'm going on this cruise with Gigi,
Ah.
and it's gonna take up like all of October, and so I'm like, oh,
Well,
yeah,
hey, there's a cruise, there's fair. Fair will be there next year.
Fair will be there next year. The cruise will not. Yeah.
Exactly.
I call that place Fruit Nut because that's what you can get there.
Yeah.
Fruits and nuts.
Fruit and nuts. It's fantastic. It's Casa de everything.
Yeah.
Everything is named Casa de something.
Okay, so if you go slightly past it, there's a gas station and they have Casa de Tacos. And Casa de Tacos is a gas station taqueria that has really good tacos.
Yes.
Yeah.
I usually get the Casa de burritos there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Now I want tacos. Thanks.
Yeah.
So when I come from Southern California, so I drive there all the time. And so when I go there, I stop at Casa de Taco and get myself some tacos. So I'm like, oh, these are gonna be legit.
Yeah, it is surprisingly delicious.
For like a gas station taco.
For a gas station. Exactly.
Yeah. What keeps you in the costuming community?
Sheer badness. It's the learning and sharing of knowledge. When I started out, I hermited myself in libraries, okay, particularly UCI library down in Irvine. And then it was just like photocopying all the information you could. And now you're able to get online, of course, and you can communicate with people, different groups. who are sharing ideas and they're sharing their information, and it's just wonderful. And I mean, really, that's what just it keeps me coming back for, because it's nice to know that what you started with, what we were looking at, 20 years ago, particularly around at the Renaissance Fair, you look at what we were doing 20 years ago, 25 years ago, and what is capable now with the Tudor Taylor and Matthew Nagy's Modern Maker books and all. It's just, I mean, there's huge change. And for people who really want to go that path of more historical, I mean, it's there, it's open for you,
Yeah.
and those who are just like, hey, I want to put something together, it's just as open there. So, and the information is sharing, it's going back and forth, and it's a beautiful thing, honestly.
It really is. Why were you at UCI?
To like look up books.
You went all the way to Irvine just to
Yeah.
look up
Oh, well,
books?
I used to live in Costa Mesa.
I've lived in Costa Mesa.
You lived in Costa Mesa too?
Yeah, and
Oh
I
God.
lived in Newport Heights. I lived in Costa Mesa, and I've lived in Santa Ana Heights, and I lived in Mission Viejo and El Toro. El Toro doesn't even
What?
exist anymore. Yeah, I
Oh
went to high
my
school in Mission
God.
Viejo.
I would. I lived in Costa Mesa. I
Uh-huh.
worked down in Newport Beach.
Yeah.
Okay.
I went to Newport Beach for junior high school.
I went to Costa Mesa High School.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. I used to work at a place called the Alta Coffee House
Oh,
down there in Newport Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I would take the bus to UC Irvine and then just peruse all the costuming books, just everything they had, and I would just spend days there.
Yeah.
All
Nice
all my
library.
free time, and stuff. And so yeah, I mean, I got so good I could tell people where to go for their books and all. I should have been working there. But
That's
yeah.
awesome.
The takeaway from all of this is that these are places in Southern California, and
These are Southern California, yes.
and that Noel is a Toro. Like, did you go to school with Gabrielle Union and Kirsten?
I said, "Burr, it's cold in here."
You say Toro? I was like, I know what that is. No,
No, I lived in a place called El Toro, which doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
It's now Lake Forest because they gentrified it.
Yeah.
Is what happened.
Yeah.
But it was this town called El Toro, and yeah, I lived in El Toro for a while, and then we moved to Mission Viejo, where I went to high school. So
Yeah.
I slowly creeped down the coast, is what happened. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
And so, since what keeps you in the community is like the learning and the shared of knowledge, like that's how we met, basically, right?
Right. Yeah.
We were in a Facebook group. So those of you that are on Facebook, I'll make sure to put links below of like some of the popular groups where you can find Mr. Pax, and he shares the best information. Like, he'll find these obscure paintings, like images of them, and there'll be like a detailed discussion of everything the person is wearing. Like, it's amazing. So I'll make sure.
I like pretty pictures. That's what it is. I like pretty pictures, and I go, oh, this is pretty. I bet you other people would think this is pretty too. So I put it up there. That's what it comes down to.
So another question about the costuming community for you: what would you like to see improve in the costuming community?
That's a tough one, because there are so many levels to the communities. I mean, as individuals, we come into this, because we're interested in something. So and there are the absolute beginners who just, hey, I want to try make something. And then there are the people who are, very interested in trying to get as historically accurate as possible when creating something. So I mean, I'm not really sure what more can be done within it and stuff. I think, as always, if we can prevent as much gatekeeping as possible, that is probably the best. I mean, always welcome people in, let them know that, hey, this is a great, this is a great effort. You've done a really wonderful job in your costuming, and answer questions and be honest with people. I think maybe that's it more than anything else. Honesty, when people are asking for something, really let them know. It's just, in the good way, of course, and stuff. But it's just, let them know what's going on. Help them out as much as possible. So that's really about it.
What is your favorite completed project?
Oh, I put the picture on. I put one of my pictures on. It's me on stage there. It is a cranberry wool outfit. Okay.
Oh.
And it makes me look like a big old cranberry. I'm a big guy, you know. After all these years and stuff, I put on the weight and stuff, but I do. I look like a big old cranberry up there and all. And but I really like that one because it is the first outfit that I completed and I did all on my own. From start to finish on that, cut it out, did the whole thing. But it is one of my favorites, and it's just because of that. It's because I was like, I want to make my own outfit. This is what I want to do. This is the design of it and all, and I was able to do it. From start to finish there was some hand sewing, the padding on the inside of the doublet, things like that. But and the outside of it, it was machine sewed, and but it was fantastic. That was really, it was a sense of accomplishment. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
The berry
awesome.
suit.
What is the silliest thing that ever happened to you at an event?
uh, Out of all the silly things, I think my fave. So with the berry outfit, I got into making points. Right. So at fair, on a number of occasions, people can find me out there making points, pounding out the points and all. So I had made this really wonderful set, and it was for my cod piece. All right. Because I had this functioning cod piece on the outfit and all. And my friend Dre, who plays the queen, saw my pictures that I posted online about them. And as she came by on that weekend as the queen, she asked me, she goes, "Sir, I've understood that you have made a wonderful set of points. May I see them?" And so I had to direct her gaze and her attention down to my cod piece in the middle of the street. You know? So
That's awesome.
so
Fair is a
yeah,
silly place.
she laughed. It was funny. A number of people giggled about it and all, but yeah, that was probably one of the silliest.
Can you tell us what points are?
Oh, points, aglets,
Oh,
aglets. Yes, they are the ones used when you are going to connect with gentlemen, connect your doublet to your trunk hose, and tighten those up together and all. Aglets points can be used for a lot of things, just decorations or for using up your ties and stuff like that.
So if you're a person who has tennis shoes, that little plastic thing that's making the tip of your laces, that's an aglet. It's a
That's it.
plastic aglet, but that's
Yeah,
what that is.
yeah.
So it's typically on the end of a rope or
Yeah.
tape, whatever. Yeah. So in case you
Tape,
didn't know what that
rope.
was, it's like these ones are shiny though.
They're shiny, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're beautiful. And of course, that aglet does the same thing the one on your tennis shoes does. It helps you get your cord or your lace through a hole, right?
Through the eyelets, yeah.
Right.
And as I always tell people when I'm making them, it's important that the end of your aglet or the broad point of your aglet is smaller than your eyelet.
Yes.
So you're actually able to pass it through and all. So yeah.
And if someone asks you if you have points or aglets and you don't, you can say, "I'm afraid not."
No, I'm afraid not.
Because that is what you'll have on your hands.
Yay! I think I'm gonna use that as
A little Ren
as
Fair
well.
humor.
Well done.
Yeah. Do you have any sentimental or nostalgic event memories to share?
Yeah. So I've played theme characters at the Renaissance Fair. I played the Spanish ambassador for
Oh.
years, Don Bernardino de Mendoza. And when I first got the role, which was up here in Northern California at the Black Point site up in Marin, I came up from Southern California. And because I was very nervous about this and all, I got in, I settled in, set up my camping equipment, all my tent and stuff and all. And then I went to the main stage. So it's at night. It's probably about 7 or 8 o'clock at night and all. And I get up there and I go through my entire lines, all my lines for the show, for the Queen show. And it's a moonlit night. It's pretty nice out there. It's still pretty dark because there's a lot of oak tree canopies up in the area through there. And so I was basically miming. I was acting, giving my lines, basically in a regular voice and all. But when I was done, a gentleman by the name of Will Woods, who plays Sir Francis Drake, came up. Will Woods is a legend in the California circuit, Ren Fair circuit, and he comes up and he just walks up center stage. He takes his hand, he lays it on my shoulder, and he says that treading the boards is a sacred space. You're going to be fine. You're doing great. And then he just walked into the backstage area of that and disappeared into the night.
Aw.
And but I have respected that man since the first time I walked out at stage and I saw him out of the fair. So, and for him to to give me that pat of confidence was just a wonderful time and stuff. He's retired now, but yeah, I still think of him greatly. So,
And this is why we say don't gatekeep, and also like a kind word. Like you don't even know. That guy probably didn't even think about that ever again. He probably doesn't even remember it, but like it affects you so much, right? Like
so
you
much.
don't know what your kind words can do for someone else, like even if it's brief,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
hype people up, yo.
And every time I step on that stage, it's I've enjoyed the times that I've been on that stage with him, and and it's what I look forward to as well as is getting other people, new people, up on that stage, giving them that opportunity, giving them that chance. So, absolutely.
Yeah.
What events would you recommend for people who are getting into costuming in your area?
Well, as I said, the Greater Bay Area Costumers Guild, because they have the workshops. It's a wonderful organization, really easygoing. You don't have to put a lot of time or effort into it or anything like that and all. They have an event coming up, as a matter of fact. It's an evening with Alexander Dumas, which is kind of fun.
And then the Witcher event.
Excuse me.
And then the Witcher.
And then the winter event. Yeah, there's a winter event as well.
Witcher. Yeah.
Like the Witcher. That's right.
The TV show, The Witcher's event. Yeah.
Yes. Excuse me. Yes.
I would like to say, since we're talking about the Greater Bay Area Costumers Guild, they have one of the most complete and enforced anti-racism platforms of any group I've seen in a very long time. They did not used to be this way. We've talked about that on this channel before, but the person who's in charge now and the group of people who are in charge now have really done a lot of work. Huge work. Yeah. I'm not going to say it's perfect. It's never perfect. There's always people who are racist and whatever in these organizations, but like they're doing the work.
They're doing the work. Exactly. The NorCal Renaissance Fair. I've been involved with them for 10, 15 years now and all. And just, the fair has had its problems over the years with diversity and inclusion, different things like this, gatekeeping, abuse, to be honest.
Yeah.
But over the years, it's gotten a great deal better. And in particularly over the last couple of years now, everybody going into it has to take an inclusion and diversity workshop. Okay. Oh, wow. You have to have this signed off beforehand. You have to take a sexual harassment class, okay, an online sexual, the one that's certified by the state. Okay, so they're making big strides. Again, it's not perfect. There are always going to be small issues and problems and stuff, but it is a really great group of people out there. And and if you're interested, come on out, give it a view, check it out, spend a weekend with us and all. And if you're really wanting to come out and participate, do so. Those are, but yeah.
Yeah, having to take that quiz and that class and sign off on that is critical. These are the things that they've been asking for Dickens Fair, and Dickens Fair is refusing.
Yeah.
For people who don't know, Dickens Fair is almost exactly like Ren Fair, except it's indoors and it's Victorian and it's in the winter. But all the same vendors are there.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you're gonna
Pretty
get
much.
the same stuff. But be warned about Dickens Fair. Like, they are not choosing
Yeah,
good path here.
they have the opportunity to make great strides, and
They do.
they're claiming to do so, but at the same time, it's just there are clearly still problems and hurdles for them to overcome. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know.
I mean, I don't want to badmouth, like,
No,
trash
no,
talk
no.
Dickens
I
Fair,
hope
but
I
like,
hope the best for them.
kinda.
I hope they do turn around and all. So
Same.
because it is a great event, and nothing makes you feel like Christmas than going to a Dickens event, and it just makes you go, "I want to go Christmas shopping now."
Mhm.
You know?
Then it would be great if they would take those
Yeah.
steps. Like I would encourage any organization that is serious about equity and inclusion to take steps to make sure that you are promoting yourself as anti-racist, and to make sure that you are training the people who are in charge of other people and into what that means, how that is actualized, because then you will be a safe space for people like me to come to. I won't
Yeah,
think twice about it. But if I
yeah,
know that you're having an issue taking a stand for anti-racism, uh, and that you are not, shutting down anti-blackness,
yeah,
then I'm not going to feel safe coming there. So
yeah,
just a heads up.
yeah.
You also need to have a route for dispute management, or whatever the phrase is for that. Like,
Yes,
people
yeah.
need to be able to complain, and it needs to actually get handled instead of
Get it
ignored.
handled exactly.
Yeah. And you need to prove that you have those things.
Yeah,
So look at the Greater Bay Area Costuming Guilds example if you want, because they have a lot online that you can read about the steps they've taken. If you don't know what to do for your organization or you want ideas, go there, go to their website.
yeah, yeah,
They kind of lay out a good path, I think.
yeah. The folks who are doing the Gatsby are getting better.
I have words about them too.
Yeah, we could have an entire episode about that and all. But they have begun to take the steps in the right direction and all,
Good. I hope
which
so.
is good to see. So hopefully, going forward, we'll see a great deal more of it and all. So
That would be wonderful. Yeah.
because it is a good picnic.
It is a good picnic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And, it's like a 20s theme, right? Gatsby.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I mean, you can
Mhm.
do so much greatness with that decade. Besides just the flapper idea, but there's like
Yeah.
such elegance and beauty in that decade. So yeah, I hope
Yeah.
they also get it.
When we went out, the time we went out, we did my friend kind of on a challenge. We put together a Frida Kahlo tableau. Yeah,
Awesome. That's awesome.
So it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, and it was just like boom. It was that splash of color in there and all. So and then that was fantastic and all.
What's your entertainment routine? Do you like watch shows? Do you sing songs? Do you listen to music? Do you do sea shanties? Like, what's your chilling situation?
No, I am. I I tend to leave things to the last moment because I over worry about them and I overthink them and all. So
Hi,
I don't.
I
Yeah,
do that
so
also.
I don't really have much of a routine on it, but
Panic.
when it is going and stuff, I mean, I like putting on, of course, background movies, things like that and stuff. There's nothing said. I think I would say the biggest thing is if I could is just like the Fifth Element
Oh yeah.
or Excalibur,
Hmm.
primarily because I have seen them so often
Hmm.
that I know the lines and I know I don't have to look up. you
Hmm.
know, it's kind of like when you're doing like when I do needlework and all. It's you can sit there, you can do your needlework and you can do your things, your handwork and stuff, and it's just it's on. It's background noise basically, but you know what's happening. You don't ever have to lift your head to go, oh, that scene, okay, unless it's the really cool scene. And then you're like, oh yes, I need to watch this. So, but yeah, that's really about it.
Who inspires you?
Uh, right now, inspiration is my wife. All right, and I mean, she has been dealing with a 4-year-old right now, and I mean, over the last 2 years, a pandemic, so that's been rather difficult. And I mean, and I know everybody has difficulties out there and stuff, but her being a stay-at-home mom, with a young one and stuff in this sort of condition has been, it's trying, and she's doing a fantastic job of it. And what I really inspired me about her, particularly over the last couple of years and all, and this last year in particular, was that she took the tutor tailor and the tutor child and the books, the tutor tailor and the tutor child, and made complete outfits by hand for her and my daughter for the fair. And
Wow.
in a short amount of time, probably like about in a month period, so I mean, it was kind of, because you have a 4-year-old, so it's kind of like, or a 3-year-old at that time, running around pulling you here and there and stuff. So, but she's been amazing, amazing, and she inspires me with her love and her knowledge of costuming. She really loves the 18th century, so she's a big fan of the Regency type corsets and things like that and all. She makes those as well and stuff. So yeah, she's pretty amazing. Love her very much. So
Oh,
yeah.
I love that answer. Who or what are you grateful for?
uh
The tutor tailor.
yeah, well, yes, and as soon as the new book comes out, I'm gonna be even more grateful. That's in October, it's supposed to be. I really, I want to say the costume directors for the Northern and Southern California fairs, right? Past and present. Okay, Vicky Nebeker is one. Frida Paris, God bless her soul. Chris Mary and Tamara Wu. Tamara Wu, Frida Paris, and Vicky Nebeker worked Northern and Southern. Chris Mary works the Northern Fair. But for the greater part, it is a thankless job. You have a lot of people really who have no idea of the time, effort, blood, sweat, and tears that these ladies have put into the job to ensure that the cast reasonably resembles the fashion of 16th century. They are my friends, and they have each provided me in their own way a multitude of information and knowledge that I would have never acquired if not for working at the fair. And just the overall knowledge that these women have and can provide and do provide is just astounding. And they've always blown me away, and I appreciate them very, very much. So love you all.
Always give gratitude to your costume director.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So if you could give a new costumer one piece of advice, what would it be?
Make an outfit to completion, start to finish. Note your mistakes and then make another one. That's really it. And just go through it. My friend Eric Atkinson, who is a great costumer, he works at the fair. He has a saying, and he's said this for a number of years. He goes, I don't make good doublets because I've made a doublet. He says, I make good doublets because I have made literally hundreds of doublets. And it's only that practice that makes you better. So do it because it's fun. It really is.
It is fun.
Yeah.
If you have a closing message on inclusion or equity that you'd like to send out, we would love to make room for that.
We've come a long way over the years. And I mean, we've had, obviously in the past, there's been a lot of problems and stuff. It's for me in particular, from starting off from the fair and probably knowing about a handful of people of color who have worked at the fairs and stuff. It is really wonderful to see. And actually, and even that, besides just participants, patrons coming out to events. Okay. Just handfuls of people. Now I go out to events and, they're just everywhere, and that is a wonderful thing. It's nice to know that, we're not I'm not the only geek sitting in the room, reading comic books or thinking about Victorian or Elizabethan clothing and stuff, or fairies or whatever else people are really interested in. And that is it's a really wonderful, beautiful thing, because when everybody shows up, to take part of an interest that they really love, then you get to share all kinds of ideas, amongst each other. And though that sharing is what moves us forward, and so I'm all for that. I mean, just get more of us out here. Just, invite more of us out, and do it. As a woman that I met at a store here in Berkeley called Lacey's, um, she said that when she used to travel around, she would see all kinds of black men and women throughout the world in her travels, and she said, "We're everywhere. We've been everywhere. We are everywhere." And I still want to put that on a T-shirt. We are everywhere. So just know that it's getting there. It's getting better. And one day, maybe not in my lifetime and stuff, but eventually, we're going to be at a place where there aren't the problems that we're seeing today. So that's what we can hope for. Yeah, that's about it.
A message of hope.
Yeah, hope. Always
Yeah.
hope.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Paco. It was lovely
Thank
to
you.
know you a little bit better.
Yeah.
Thank you also to our viewers for joining us today. We will leave a list of Paco's information down below for you to go follow him on all of his platforms, and also about Ren Fair and stuff like that. If you do not know if you have a Ren Fair in your area, just Google Ren Fair and then whatever your local area is. They are all over the country.
All over.
Everywhere. And you can go in anything you want. Like you can show up in jeans and a t-shirt, you can show up in shorts, you can show up. Honestly, I've seen people in their bathing suits. Like whatever you want to wear is fine. It is not, just go and experience it, because
just about all of them have a theme weekend. So they're always fairy weekends, pirate weekends. A lot of them now has cosplay weekends, steampunk weekends,
time traveler weekend.
Yeah, exactly. So whatever you like, you can do, and you can just show up however you want to dress anyway, and go have fun. So,
and there's booze there.
And
there's booze there.
There is booze.
So please do give this video a thumbs up, since we know that you liked it. Paco's amazing. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't, and if you have a costumer of color that you think we should interview, please insert their information into the description box below. There's a form actually you can click on and go tell us about that person. Make sure to leave a little love for Paco in the comments below. Stay safe out there, be excellent to each other, and take care.
Bye guys.
Bye.